It's not just that DKIT is the leading higher education institute in North Leinster, South Ulster. It's not just because we have more than 45 undergraduate courses and over 60 part-time options. Yes, our 4 academic schools offer diverse programs of study taught by inspirational lecturers in state-of-the-art facilities. And yes, we have strong links with local businesses. Our programs offer hands-on learning with connections to industry experts and have a focus on entrepreneurship and innovation. But it's not just that. And it's not just because of our wide range of sports and social clubs or the excellent employment opportunities for DKIT graduates.
DKIT is just down the road.
It's allowing you to be more independent.
I meet new people every day, making new friends every day.
And I just love it.
What makes DKIT so extraordinary is you. You make it DKIT.
Tak to byla krátká ukázka z Dundalk Institute of Technology a my se tady snažíme spojit s Davidem Bradley z Irska, aby vám svoji univerzitu představil, ale zatím se nám trošičku, už vidím, že se nám připojuje. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin the next presentation of the day. We will now present the Dundalk Institute of Technology. I would like to invite Mr. David Bradley, who will present the university. Hello, David. Welcome to the Go Campus
Good
Fair.
afternoon. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are doing great. It's good having you here as part of our online fair. And you have the floor for your presentation.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, everyone, for joining here today, and thank you to Clara from Unilink for speaking about us previously. We'll speak a bit more about Unilink as we go on, because we have a fantastic partnership with Unilink, and they are great in supporting students. So let's tell you a little bit about Dundalk Institute of Technology. So as you know, we are in Ireland, and in choosing somewhere to go and study abroad, there are 2 reasons you will choose an institute. One, first and foremost, excuse me, is the student experience that you're going to have at that institute. And secondly, is going to this institute going to help me achieve my career goals long-term and getting the job that I want? And we fully believe that coming to Dundalk Institute of Technology and coming to Ireland, we can help you achieve that. So let's first and foremost tell you a little bit about coming to study in Ireland. As you know, because of Brexit, it's been in the news quite a lot in the last few years. Ireland is now the last official English-speaking country within the European Union. Good for you guys, your students. It actually has the youngest population within the European Union as well. And what we call Ireland is the gateway to Europe for one of the reasons is that it is one of the most popular countries for global employers around the world. So we do have the opportunity to support students to get jobs they want at the end of their graduation. Okay, so let's look at a few benefits of coming to study in Ireland. Ireland is ranked in the top 10 education systems in the world. You probably didn't know that. And the national minimum wage for students and for most people in Ireland is €10.10 per hour. So that means you guys coming here to study and work as students, you can work up to 20 hours per week. And as a result, okay, as I said before, you're going to pick an institute to go and study for one of 2 reasons. First and foremost is for the student experience, and then secondly, it may be for finding the job that you want and you're guaranteed to get at the end of your career. So we believe coming to study in Ireland, we have fantastic employment opportunities and fantastic career pathways for you to stay and live and work in Ireland when you graduate. So let's progress to the next slide. And thank you for Unilink for helping me do this. Okay, so a little bit about the benefits of studying in Ireland. What you didn't see before is Ireland is ranked in the top 10 higher education systems in the world. The national minimum wage, as I'd mentioned before, is €10.10 per hour. That's the 3rd highest in Europe. And as a result of that, you can be earning €800 per month whilst you're studying. You are able to work up 20 hours per week whilst you're studying, because you are probably going to be in class 20 hours per week studying as well. And the average graduate salary for students who graduate from Dkit is €35,000 and above. Now, it might be higher, and it depends on the career that you go into. Okay, so let's move on to give you a little bit more detail about Ireland and the careers that you will have studying in Ireland as well. Thank you, Clara. Okay, so Ireland is known as the multinational hub, the gateway to Europe, the Silicon Valley of Europe. This is because we have most of the world's leading employers have their European headquarters within Ireland. So the likes of LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, PayPal, a lot of the world's leading banks have the European headquarters within Ireland, and the world's leading biotechnology companies and medtech services as well have their companies within Ireland. As a result, this means there's more graduate opportunities for you as a student. And let's progress to the next slide. So as you can see, Ireland is first in the world for investment projects. We have 9 of the top 10 US technology companies. Top 5 global software companies are based in Ireland. 8 of the top 10 global industrial automation companies. And then we also have all of the world's top 10 pharmaceutical companies based in Ireland, and then 20 of the top 25 top financial services. So this is great for our graduates and for students. And one of the reasons we have this fantastic opportunity in Ireland is the next slide will show, please. Ireland is almost centered pieces between the Americas and for Europe as well. So it is the gateway to Europe coming from the Americas, but it's also the gateway to the Americas coming from Europe as well. And as a result of that, all of the world's leading employers do have the European headquarters in Ireland, or in fact 90% of them do. And as a result of that, we believe coming to study in Ireland will guarantee you the pathway to the career that you would like to attain at your end of your studies. You can stay and work in Ireland after you graduate as an EU citizen. You don't need a working visa. And if you want to stay for a few years after you graduate, you then can progress onto a career further afield in the Americas or in Europe, or indeed return to your home country. That's an option that you have as well. So let's progress on. So as I mentioned before, in Ireland, we have a high need for graduates in the fields of ICT, computing, software development. We have more engineering jobs than we do have engineering students within Ireland. We have some of the world's leading financial services looking for students, and then further to this, we have a lot of media design jobs, so many jobs within the health industry and international sales. So if you are coming for the likes of a job in engineering, you can graduate, and your qualifications with Engineers Ireland do allow you to work in 75 different countries across the world. So if you want to study in Ireland but have bigger prospects of working abroad further afield, then coming to live and work in Ireland can provide you with that opportunity. Okay, so next option, please. Okay, so let's tell you a little bit about Dundalk in more detail. So just hit this slide again, please, 2 more times. So DKIT is based on the northeast coast of Ireland. So if somebody could hit the slide for me again. Okay, and again. And one more time. And there we go, a little bit more broken down. So Dundalk is 45 minutes from Dublin. So for most of you, you've probably heard of Dublin, you know, the capital city of Ireland, and Dundalk is a little town about 45 minutes drive just north of the capital city. The good thing is it's actually 54% cheaper to live in Dundalk than it is to live in the capital city also. So we also have direct flights to most European cities. We have a 2-hour flight directly to Prague from Ryanair and Aer Lingus. So it's cheap, affordable flights to and from your home country where you can return at any time that you wish to do so. So we also have 2 airports in Belfast. We are 1 hour away from Belfast. And if you are a Game of Thrones fan, anywhere between Dundalk and Belfast, we have many beautiful scenic areas where the Game of Thrones has been filmed, and in Belfast we have the Game of Thrones studios where you can go and visit and learn a little bit more about what happens on set as well. So Dkit Campus is what you will face is as soon as you come into the town of Dundalk. It's a massive campus and it dominates the town. It's also one of the largest employers within the town, and many people think because it's not in the capital city, the campus might be a little bit smaller, but it's actually bigger than some of the campuses around the capital city we have as well. If you are coming to live on campus, number 14 is where you'll be based. So everything is within walking distance to your classes. You're not going to cars, buses, or trains to commute to help you get to campus. Everything is in walking distance. If you're thinking of science or engineering, our buildings 2, 3, and 4 is where you'll be based. Building number 1 is where our library is and our international student support service for you guys. And if you are thinking of humanities or any of your business, marketing, or sports science, all your lectures will be based in building 5. Building number 9, as you can see, is where all our sporting facilities are for our outdoor sports. And if you are interested in rugby, hockey, soccer, or any of those sports, you will be participating in all your sports activities every Wednesday afternoon, where you will be competing A, on campus, or B, traveling around the country to represent Dkit against other Irish institutes. Buildings number 6 and 7 is where all of our hospitality and culinary programs will be. And building number 8 is for career services, student services. Our bank will be there, and all of your support services to support you to get the career that you want when you graduate. Building number 10 is our science building, and within here, bioscience, biopharmaceutical science, and we also have a mock hospital floor within this building as well. Number 11 will be for all your student needs on campus for your catering facilities, and building number 12 is our theatre on campus. So for all of our creative media students, we have a theatre on campus as well. And finally, building number 13 is where I'm based most days. In here we have a film studio, we have all our music and audio production facilities, and we have some of our engineering laboratories as well. So we look at, okay, so let's look in a bit more depth at some of the programs here we offer Dkit. We've got 4 main schools, and I've mentioned quite a lot of the programs that we have already. So the first school, if you're interested in business and humanities, we have business and management, business and technology, and just normal business studies honours degree. We have accounting and finance, we have marketing, we've got sports science, and we have hospitality programs, including international management, international tourism, culinary arts, and hospitality programs. 2/3 of our programs do have work placements. You don't have to take a work placement, but if you do wish to do so, we have partnerships with colleges in Niagara Falls in Canada, within New York, within Chicago, within Mexico. So you can travel around the world to take one of your work placements if you wish to do so. The Four Seasons Hotel in Boston is a very famous hotel that many of our hospitality students go and study at also. If engineering is your field of study, as I mentioned before, we need engineers in Ireland. Ireland needs engineers. We have civil, mechanical, electrical, and construction. And within health and science, at the moment, we're not taking applications for nursing and midwifery. This is because, as you know, at the moment, we're in high need of nursing and medical staff within each of our own countries. So at the moment, the Irish government is funding nursing placements for Irish students only at first. But pharma science, biopharmaceutical science, agriculture, and veterinary nursing, we do have opportunities for students to come and study each of those programs as well. And finally, within our School of Informatics and Creative Arts, we have computing, music, software development, games development, virtual reality, creative media such as film and television production, general arts, and theatre and television production as well, all of which can be taken part on campus within our theatre as well. And we do have fantastic links with the national television station here within Ireland, where many of our students then progress on to work for the national television station. Dkit, we have a multinational campus. We have our first Czech students that came to study with us this year. We have students from 55 different countries around the world and growing. And next year, we're probably going to have students from around 70 countries around the world. Even though we're in the middle of a global pandemic, our student population from around the world is still continuing to grow. So whilst you might have students from your own country coming to study with us, you're probably going to be in a classroom with students from all around the world. And that can only be good for your friendship, for your contacts, and for your networks. And when you graduate, whether you choose to go home to your own country, stay in Ireland, you will have friends all over the world that you come and have met with, and you can meet up with any time in the future, I'm sure. So why study Dkit? We've given you quite a lot of those reasons already. And after this slide, we'll go into more of the financial details, which of course are going to be important to you. So as I mentioned before, there's 2 reasons you will pick a place to study. First and foremost is the student experience. Am I going to have a good time where I'm going to live and study? And we believe certainly within Ireland, you will be able to do that. As mentioned before, we've got work placements on most of our programs. We have 1 hour from Dublin Airport, so you can travel to and from your own country within 2 to 3 hours. You could be home. We've got fantastic links to industry, which will enable you to find the careers and jobs that you want when you graduate. We have all of our sporting clubs and societies, and whilst these are great for social aspects, they're great for meeting your future friends, perhaps even a future partner. These are also what employers ask for you as a student. So we do ask that most students do join our sporting clubs and societies. And in addition to that, we have all of our support services from our student services, and we will pick you up from the airport when you arrive in Ireland as well. So let's progress on to more details about finance and cost of living and so on. And just before we do that, it is worth mentioning that 95% of our students will go on to take a master's program, or they will progress on to employment within the first year after they graduate. And 93% of our students who do go into employment do stay in the region between Dundalk and Dublin, because we have so many opportunities as well. Next slide. Okay, and as I mentioned before, there's some of the services on campus, and let's progress on again. Okay, and coming to the end now, and one of the key sources of information for you guys is how much is this going to cost me? The fees in Ireland for EU students are €3,000 per year. Now, there are grants available to pay for your fees, not like the UK system where it's a student loan system, you have to pay that back. In Ireland, we have a grant system that supports you to cover your fees, and our fantastic colleagues at Unilink will work together with Dkit to support you to obtain your grant and have your fees paid for free. If you can't be eligible for the fees, basically, then you can pay €3,000 per year, and aren't massive fees as well. So let's progress on to the next slide. As mentioned before, our accommodation is on campus, and so everything is going to be in walking distance, and we can follow up with you through our fantastic colleagues at Unilink to discuss that further. And next slide. This is just a little bit of more in-depth detail on our accommodation. You will have a room of your own, you'll have shared living facilities, and finally, just go ahead, yep, next slide, please, yep, thank you. Our Dkit's sports centre, and I believe your sports facilities we have in a moment. But just to let you know, any membership of sporting clubs and societies, your gym membership is included as part of your fees. So at the start of each year, you'll pay €125, and you will get fantastic access to our gym facilities each year. And I believe the guys here are going to show a video on Dkit Sport. And before we do that, just one last slide. Okay, so this is my details, but if you do get in touch with me, I'm most likely going to be passing you on to my fantastic colleagues at Unilink. So Clara and Misa are the two key guys at Unilink that I work with. They're fantastic in supporting students, not only to come to Dkit into Ireland, but all across Europe and across the world. And if you are thinking of coming to study Dkit, perhaps maybe instead of contacting me, you can reach out to my colleagues at Unilink, and they will provide you with a fantastic support service. So again, apologies for any technical difficulties at the start of the presentation. This is what happens this day and age, and hopefully, if you aren't planning to come to study abroad until 2022, we might see you in person later this year, next year in Czech Republic as well. So thank you very much.
They ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I should overcome. What for? Train in the trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands, and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Ain't no challenge for champions and chain no fear. Yeah, the champions here, twist gears. We keeping haters in the rear. At the blood, sweat, and tears, and my goal so near. I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear. And today, we break through. 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 I know it's lonely at the top, but that's not by speculation. But the position that I got, I climb too high to fall, but too hard to drop. Stop clocks on the speed bag. Every day under pressure, no jet lag. This is greater than trophies and saluted flags. Title to fame, the cost is paid. Yay, I carry the cross I made. Deal with the dealer. Baby, the hand was played. New level, next stage. Learn to lead as a legend. Now tell me what's my next stage. Yay, I said the champ is here. Switch gears. We keeping haters in the rear.